Let's now discuss the object-oriented programming. Just let's start with the procedural programming. What you write now in a code in a sequential way, you put everything you want to achieve sequentially. This is procedural programming. As long as you are not writing objects or classes, then it's procedural. You put all of the instructions, all of the in a sequential code. This is similar to writing or leaving a sticky note, writing I will travel to New York. Then I would like to write another sticky note, I will travel to California. In procedural programming, the only way is to write it. I will travel to California. I will travel to XYZ. If I would like to write different destination, I will have to write I will travel to whatever. So I'm exerting more effort, spending more time, having redundant words and sentences to achieve what I need to achieve. In object-oriented, it is different. This approach organizes the code in a way, code makes the code more efficient and reusable. So the object-oriented, for example, if I'm writing the class, then I'll put into it, I will travel to. Then I create objects with reference to this class that which will use or reuse the content of the class, which can be variables, can be functions, can be methods, can be whatever, commands. And then I pass the destination to the object, New York. Then I will get the new sentence, as you see. Same as here. I'm creating an object with a reference to the class, passing the destination and receiving the entire statement. Less effort, less time, more efficient. And I'm reusing the code. So in object-oriented, I have classes, objects, which enables me from making my code more efficient, avoiding the redundancy, saving more effort and time. In object-oriented programming, there are some concepts facilitate the efficiency and the reusability, like inheritance. Now I have a class, as we discussed before. This class contains a statement, I will travel to. It is printing this. If I would like to create another class, which will be I will enjoy, then I inherit from the first class to the second class. As you see, I will, then I override travel to by enjoy. So it will be I will enjoy another class. This is inheritance. I inherited from the first class to the second class the words, variables, functions, methods, commands. And then I create an object with reference to the class, passing the value receiving or the input receiving the output. Here the destination is an input, the output will be I will travel to New York. Same here in the new class Amsterdam, I will enjoy Amsterdam. This is inheritance. Similarly, the multiple inheritance will work following the same logic, two or more classes to one class. I will travel to, I will enjoy. I can inherit from these two classes to a new class which contains I will travel to and I will enjoy. And then I create an object with reference to this class, passing the destinations, New York and Amsterdam, to have the two sentences within this object. I will travel to I will enjoy as two sentences out of this. This is multiple inheritance. I'm inheriting to a class from several classes. The concept of abstraction. Simply, I can create a class which functions as a template. I'm not going to create an object with reference to it. It's not allowed. But I will inherit two classes from it, like I will. The class which contains I will is an abstract class that we are going to inherit from it to class A and class B. I'm inheriting I will. Then I'm adding these additions like travel to or enjoy to it. By turn creating the object with reference to the class, passing the input, receiving the output, which is the new sentence. This is abstraction. Encapsulation. Encapsulation. This concept refers to the possibility of hiding part of the class, which can be variable, function, method, some commands, not to be inherited to the child class from the parent. So in the class, I can define variable or method as private, public, or protected. So if it's private or protected, when I'm trying to inherit, as you see here, I'm inheriting only I will, because I will was public, not private or protected. But travel to was private or protected. That's why it wasn't inherited in the new class. Otherwise, it would have been I will travel to enjoy, which is wrong. So I will was public, travel to was private or protected. So this is the concept of encapsulation. The method. The class is subdivided into methods or functions. Each method will have an interface that I pass the input to get or to receive the output. As you see here, I have in this class method A and method B, or method 1, method 2. The interface is a country or a town. Here it's quantity. So I pass to this method New York, then it will be I will travel to New York. I pass to the second method the quantity of the tickets or the number of tickets, 2 or 3. It will be I will buy 2 or 3 tickets. So the method is subdivision of a class, which enables me from calling a specific piece of code within the class through the object, which is created with reference to this class. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is a concept which has two types: runtime and compilation. For example, I have class A and class B. The methods here, method which receives the country or the town on its interface, as you see, and in class B, the same method name which receives town or country, but we can differentiate, or the system will differentiate between the two methods via the class. So this is class A, this is class B, but the method name is the same. So this is called runtime polymorphism. Compilation class has two methods. One has the interface as country or town. The second has interface as quantity. Both of the methods are having the same name, method, but the system will differ, or the compiler will differ, but the compiler will differentiate between the two methods via the type of the data which you are passing to. So if I'm passing a town, system will look, oh, this is a quantity, but this is a town, so this method is meant. Here, quantity, then this method is meant, and this will be called, and we're going to execute this content, not that content. So this is polymorphism, identifying which method either through the class name or the interface data. I hope this is clear up till the moment. It will be more clear when we'll be discussing the course into details in a practical way. As we discussed in the beginning, the course is an intersection among ABAP object-oriented, agile methodology Scrum approach, and the ITIL 7 guiding principles. So now we're going to discuss practically how to write ABAP object-oriented code to fulfill or to be aligned with ITIL 7, the 7 guiding principles, and within the framework of Agile Scrum. Now let's summarize. The class is a container, template, or a blueprint which contains functions, variables, the pieces of codes, methods, and so on. The abstraction, the abstraction is using the class only as a template, but no objects can be created with reference to it. Object is the functioning instance of the class. Inheritance is adopting the components of the class to a subclass. Multiple inheritance is adopting the components of more than one superclass to subclass. Encapsulation, the component of the class, are not accessible by objects and other classes unless it is permitted. Polymorphism, runtime is using the same method name in different classes.